Today, I have got somebody who makes $2,500 every time she posts an Instagram reel, and she's going to teach us how anyone can monetize their Instagram following, even if you have just 100 followers. I've got Maria Wendt. What's up?
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, so we got to meet at this Sam Card event, actually, with Brian
really
Moran.
fun.
And, that event actually helped me do a lot of different things. And I talked to Brian about it, and I've had him on the show. And so now it's great to have you on because I've seen you really blowing up recently on Instagram, getting more and more followers. The posts are engaging. And then when we talked a little bit, I was like, wow, you guys are just not even really selling coaching. You're just selling low ticket products. And, I see all the reels talking about, what you guys are doing and growing. So I'm like, I want to know.
Yeah, well, I was telling you a little earlier, it's been so great for me as a mom because I get to be so present to my baby and still hit all the financial goals, all the business goals that I want to be hitting because it really is so hands-off. So I'm a big fan of the low ticket stuff.
Yeah. So let's give people just a quick rundown of who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So basically, I sell courses on how to grow on social media, how to monetize your social media, basically hitting different financial goals through very low ticket courses. And I took the road less traveled when I decided 3 years ago that I'm not going to do any high ticket because I had been doing like $72,000 coaching packages and those are fun to sell, but then you have the delivery side and I was getting very burnt out and I knew I was having a baby soon and I was like, I have to find a way to get this more hands off. And so 3 years ago, I made a really important decision to stop all high ticket coaching and just go all in on the low ticket. And I had a gut feeling that I could monetize it and make it profitable when a lot of people were telling me that's not possible.
I would have literally said that it's impossible.
Yes.
Until talking to you because...
But we have 60% profit margins. That's the thing. It's not just okay profit margins. It's crazy. It's too much profit margins.
Yeah. See, that's crazy because most people use a low ticket offer as just a way to self-liquidate some ad spend.
Mm-hmm.
And your guys are just selling low ticket and that's the thing.
And I think what people get wrong is they think I'm going to do a low ticket and then get them to ascend into a high ticket. That is not, in my opinion, very effective because the person who spends $24 is not the same person who spends $24,000. And so they wonder why their ascension rates are so low. It's because they're two different demographics.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a guy who would spend $24,000.
Exactly.
I don't buy $20 things.
Exactly. And you would never buy a $24. You're very unlikely to buy a $24 course and then ascend into a high ticket mastermind. And yet that's a lot of people's business models in our space.
Yeah. It's funny. I last year I tried a $97 community and I thought the ascension from it would be good. It's not.
I bet it was like 5% or less.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, that's pretty typical. And so what we've done is realized there is such an underserved part of our market as, people in the coaching space where no one's talking to the people who are just getting started. No one's selling to the people who are just getting started. They're waiting until they're at least $10,000 a month and then they'll sell them a high ticket thing. But if you think about it like a triangle, the people at the bottom base, they're the biggest group of people. They're in those 9-to-5 jobs that they hate. They have no idea which way is up. They're very overwhelmed and they don't have the budget for the high ticket investment, but they have such a yearning and such a longing to be supported. And that's where I came in and my heart's there. I love the beginners. I love the new people. And it's been a really, really fun time for me.
Yeah. So how are you making $2,500 a reel? Like, where does the math come into play? Like, what?
Yeah,
what
I can tell you exactly how that works. So, I publish a reel, and either in the caption or the reel itself, there'll be like call to action to comment. Right? Everyone knows it. It's the ManyChat comments, and then so it'll be like comment the word keyword, right, or comment the word guide to get my guide. They comment. We all know that, right? That's most of us.
Yeah.
And then I'll take them straight to a checkout page, and the percentage of people who comment versus the percentage of people buy averages out to where I will never make less than $2,500 per reel. So it's just reels equals traffic equals sales. So
you'll do this organic reel, or I've seen you do carousels and different things too, and you're just not forcing them, but the CTA at the end is a comment.
Yep.
And I'll see you get like hundreds and hundreds
Thousands.
of comments.
Yeah.
Right? Thousands of comments. So out of those comments, how many end up? Like what happens after they comment, just so people understand?
Yeah, so they'll comment and then my bot, so this is all automatic, this is happening completely on autopilot, will automatically send them an Instagram DM with a link to the checkout page, right? The thing that they commented for. So I might say something like, comment start if you're ready to start building passive income. And then they'll comment start, and then that'll take them to a link on a course that shows exactly how I set up these bots and how I do it and how I monetize social media. Or it could be like comment ads if you want to know how we run such profitable ads. And then they'll comment ads. They will get a message that then takes them to the checkout page of my ads course. So it's literally just the key comment takes them to the course checkout page.
They're literally just, there's no shenanigans. It's
no
straight
shenanigans.
to buy it.
And that is one of the biggest aha moments I had. The things that we do that we think and have been taught warm people up actually create obstacles to the money. And so we think, oh, we need nurture sequences to warm people up. We need all of these touch points to warm people up. You don't with a low ticket. You just send as much traffic as you possibly can to the checkout. And when I understood that, I realized that I need to be removing the obstacles. So no automated webinars, no long email sequences, just send them the link to the checkout page. And because it's a low ticket item, they're just going to buy.
So they buy it. And what's the typical price point?
No more than 300. I would say our average AOV, or average order value, is like $118. And we just do that 200, 300 times a day.
But is that like one product, or is that them bundling things together?
If they bought everything that one particular product funnel have, they could spend upwards of $700 to $1,000. But that is not the case. Our average customer in an average order spends around $118. So we're doing...
So what's the minimum they would spend?
$24.
And what would they get?
224 business courses, so like $1 per course.
They'd get 24 courses?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for $24. That's our like front end offer. We bring them in with that. It's $1 a course. It's hard to beat.
How long is the course?
Like 4 modules long. Like they're beefy. They're good courses. That's the thing too, is like we are selling for $24, but we could sell for $2,400.
Yeah.
And our repeat customer rate is 2 to 3 times the industry average because our customers are so unbelievably overwhelmed with what they get.
Do you ever do free stuff, or is it just always straight to checkout?
95% of it is free. In terms of like, I put so much education in my content. I put so much, I really educate in my YouTube videos. And then the 1% of people who do end up buying from me, that's where I make my millions.
No, I guess I'm talking about I know that the front end, the content itself is education, but when they go to your funnel, do you ever do, I guess, free lead magnets is what I'm saying?
We collect thousands of email addresses a day. Yeah.
So you get free lead magnets, and then they get the thing.
Yeah, those people. So when someone gives, we monetize those email addresses a few times a month with our new course launches. So we're always launching new products. And so all month long, we're collecting tens of thousands of email addresses, which we then monetize at least once a month, usually 3 times a month with new product launches. So we have the daily sales that come from them going to the checkout page. And then if you were to look at our revenue, you'd see these big spikes 3 times a month. That's when we did a new product launch. And that's how we monetize.
That's just simply only email.
Yeah, we do 5 emails for the launch and that's it. It's really easy. And we send essentially the same emails over and over again.
But with a new product.
With a new product, exactly.
And with that, so correct me if I'm wrong, but you'll post on Instagram, you'll get hundreds or thousands of people to comment.
Mm-hmm.
You'll give them a free thing, get their email, then later on, just hit them with the product launch.
Exactly.
So you're not sending those people to buy something right then and there from Instagram.
Sometimes we are. Sometimes we are. Yeah, okay. It's really, and then what we'll even do is we're getting a little bit more sophisticated to where sometimes people will get a free resource and then 10 minutes later, because you can set these automations up, 10 minutes later, we'll also pitch a product.
Got it. So they got their free thing they wanted. Then you're like, hey, by the way, you'd probably like this $24
thing. Right, exactly. Yeah, if you want to dive deeper is our way that we say it.
Got it. Okay.
But not always. Sometimes we'll just send straight to a checkout page.
I see. So would you say that most of your revenue comes from organic traffic or paid, or how are you guys doing that?
So it was split 50% down the middle for a very long time, but we've been pretty aggressively scaling our ads. So now it's closer to 60% of our revenue comes from ads, 40% of our revenue comes from organic.
Okay. And then I've seen you talk about it. So I mean, $2,500 per reel.
Mm-hmm.
So how many reels per month are you doing, and what's that equate to?
Yeah. So I'm publishing 5 pieces of content a day on Instagram. That does include stories. So we're pretty prolific on Instagram. Not every piece of content we post is with the intention of pitching. So those are monetized less. But the average amount of money we make per piece of content that we put out is around $2,500 a month. So even if I'm not necessarily pitching something, I know that the combination is going to be around $2,500.
So 5 times 30, that's 150.
Our daily average is $15,000, $20,000 a day from that. Yeah.
Got it. So you guys are doing, over $500,000 a month.
Exactly.
Just from low ticket products.
Yep. Yeah. We're averaging right now 600, 650 a month from that. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it's very profitable. That's the thing is like when we went to the Sam Cart thing together, one of the pieces of feedback we got was that our profit margins were too high. And that's one of the big, which I know it was like, I was kind of like, but it's still not okay because you're slowing your scale.
Yeah.
And
you could be spending.
I could be exactly. And so that was the big feedback that we got. And so we really have been pouring that into ads and labor. So bringing on a couple of team members, which has been nice.
How many team members do you have?
Really tiny. We have like 3 full-time people. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But that's partially why the profit is so high is because there's very little overhead.
But you guys are just selling digital products. So you don't have fulfillment.
Just making sure they get access.
Yeah. Because with high ticket, I mean, everything we do, I have to hire coaches.
Yeah.
We do lead generation for them.
Yeah. Which is what I did for a really long time. I used to have a team of like 30 people and it's different to manage that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I have never really met anyone on this show who's only selling low ticket stuff. The only like comparable thing I can think of is when people who just sell books.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, I just have my book, people buy it, it's $30. And
it's hard to scale that. It's different to scale that though, because you don't own if you're selling on Amazon, you don't own the funnel.
Right.
So this one I own. I have all these little, like I think of myself like a spider with all my little passive income webs coming to me.
How many different products do you have?
Probably like 300. I don't know, like a ton. We're launching 12 core products this year was our big goal. But with each core product that it's launched, 5 additional upsells, order bumps, and things down the whole funnel. So it's not just one product launch. It's like if we have a goal for launching 12 products in a year, it's really like launching 60 new products because each one will have a pretty robust upsell funnel. That's where a lot of our profit comes from. Isn't in that first sale. It's in every upsell.
It's all the 5 extra things.
Exactly.
So walk me through what a product is for you. Like, so, okay, I need 12, really 60. So like, okay, give me like one of the products that you're working on.
So one that we just did was my email marketing course where we're collecting thousands of email addresses every day for free, which is something and they're very qualified. And then we've done the math and we know that at a minimum, each email address that we collect for free is worth at least $6 to us, whether they never open an email, whether they do nothing. Like
that's the LTV.
Exactly. It's at least $6 per email address. And so people wanted to know how we did that. And so what that looked like was sitting down and recording. I think that one was like 88 videos. That was a beefy one.
80 videos?
80. That one was really long. That was because that's just a lot to cover for them to not just know how to collect the email addresses, but then turn around and monetize it the way that we do. And I do my emails very differently. I email twice a day, which might seem to be a lot. But if I ever take a week off, people get worried about me. Like they really, like I took a week off because I was sick last week and people were like, are you okay? I haven't heard from you. They really like my emails and the way that I do it. And so my audience had been clamoring for an email marketing course. And so that would be the first one would be like literally how to do it. And then an upsell might be like 365 emails that we've sent over the last year with notes on how to customize it for yourself. It might be another little guide on writing subject lines. And then the last upsell is always access to our Facebook group community. I don't deliver anything to it, but they can just be amongst themselves with other Maria students and just compare notes and get encouraged or get, answers to questions they have. There's no delivery required on my end, but it's still really valuable to be in that community. And so that's always our 5th upsell is
that monthly subscription?
No, it's just one-time fee of $300.
And you're just
I can't mess. I used to have a membership. I cannot mess with the subscription stuff. It is never worth it. You will always make more money. Do the math. You will always make more money charging the $300 up front or whatever it be than doing $27 monthly because the membership sticking
the
points.
churn rate.
Exactly. So I just collect the $300 up front and call it a day. And there are some people have been in it for years. So it's good value for them, but it's a lot easier for me.
Yeah. The only thing is when you just get knuckleheads, they got to kick out.
Oh, I boot people out all the time. Oh, it's a privilege to be in my community. I'll make a post saying, hey, this person got booted and here's why. And it's good for everybody else to see me do that.
Right. So, I mean, so you're basically filming an 80 video course once a month.
Yeah. Yeah. Do sometimes twice a month.
And that'll be the core offer with all the little bumps.
That takes me a day. So I'll spend 2 to 3 hours to outline it. And then there's always one day a month where it's Maria's sitting and filming for 6 hours or 8 hours. And that's what I do. And then it's done.
I haven't made a course in so long.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, gosh, I hated doing that.
Oh, but think about it. That's the only delivery.
No, I know. You do it once.
Do it once. That's worth it. To me, it's worth it. And I can...
How often do you recycle them?
Do you mean like re-pitch them?
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, this launch this month is for the email course. And the next month you're going to have a new launch and a new launch. So like, at what point do you bring it back and you're like...
That's a good question. So we'll evergreen market them in those emails that I send every day. One email was always very personal. It's very nurturing. It's very like, here's Maria's life. And then the afternoon one is always a pitch. And so
one is not, there's no pitch. It's just
me doing my Maria thing. And then the afternoon one's always a pitch. And it's usually follows like, if you want X formula, get X course, click here to buy. They're like 3 or 4 lines long. They're very short pitches and they are really effective.
And then, okay, so you're doing that twice a day.
Yeah.
And then, you said you do 5 pieces of Instagram content.
Yeah, so we'll pitch those on Instagram. We also run ads to all our courses. And so when
you pitch on Instagram though, like how often are you doing a CTA?
Every day.
No, I mean like out of the 5 or...
pretty much every one.
Okay.
I feel like this is kind of my framework and how I think about it. The content that I'll give you for free is so valuable. I've earned my pitch also in that same piece of content.
Got it.
And sometimes I'll get people like once I remember this guy was like, you pitch too much. And I'm like, you're right. And my bank account loves it. Like I have no problem. I have no problem pitching. If you don't like it, it's totally okay. We're just not a good fit and you can unfollow me.
So you don't worry about, and look, I pitch all the time too, so I don't really care. But I'm just saying you don't worry about every piece of content having a CTA.
No, I think it should. People expect it. It's weird that it doesn't. In my opinion. Like I think that it should have it. But you need really, really good content. Like you can't just be pitching. It has to be good. In fact, I feel like it's better when you have a really good piece of content. That's when they're the most receptive to a pitch. So I give really, really good content and then I have my pitch in there and that's when they're the hottest. Yeah,
Gary Vee, I think a lot of people followed the Gary Vee thing for a long time of jab.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, then I shouldn't pitch for 5 pieces of content. Then I'll pitch on the 6th or whatever it is.
I feel like if you give really, really good content, they are happy. They feel like that, reciprocity where they're like, oh, okay. And like I said, 99% of people who follow me and love my content never buy from me, but I make a ton of money from the 1% that do buy from me.
Yeah. And I also think too, it just depends like if that's part of your brand, like where you're teaching people how to do this online and everything else, then it's expected. It's like, it's funny. I had Russell Brunson in here. We were talking about it and he was like, oh, bro, like people love to watch me pitch, like at Funnel Hacking Live, like everyone's prepped to watch the pitch. I'm like, well, that's not normal. Like you go to any other event, like everybody's not amped to watch the guy pitch and, like pick apart his movements and how he did. Like, because if I'm going to pitch a real estate product, nobody cares how I pitch. Like they just want the real estate thing. We're not this isn't an event of people who pitch for a living. Well,
and I also think he's underestimating like who he is. Like most people who know me at the beginning, they don't know that I pitch a lot. And so I still think you have to work to make your pitch receptive. Even if you are in the business industry. And I'm a big fan of the thing that I call the subtle pitch. And it's one of the things I teach my students how to do where sometimes people don't even know that I'm pitching. It's.
Now, I guess kind of what I'm bringing up with that is, Russell sells to people who want to make money online, and usually it's creating courses and products and things like that. When we're talking about, I said this earlier, that anyone with 100 followers could be making $50 to $100 a day.
Yeah.
Is that through selling digital products also?
Yes, but it can be about any topic. Like I have a student who teaches people how to paint, and she just made her first $1 million just teaching people how to paint with an app on an iPad. I have another student who's like a dog trainer. I have a mom who's a gardener. Yes, you're absolutely selling digital products, but it's not all confined to the like business or social media industries. It's literally anyone can monetize anything, and there's a market for it. There's a guy who literally has a course on. It's insane, but helping you bond emotionally with your cat, which I can't relate to. However, he's making a ton of money doing it. So I'm like, do it.
Cats don't have souls though.
Well, but don't say that to him. I mean, he's he'll teach you how to access the soul of your cat. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, anything can be monetized. And in the industries that aren't business, you have such a blue ocean because no one's monetizing the gardening industry with any kind of savvy. So you can make a lot of money.
What's interesting about that is I realized that with this golf mastermind that I just started, we were talking about it. Like, I'm in the real estate space and we sell products and all these things, and it's awesome. But it's a very bloody ocean.
Yeah.
Everybody is teaching real estate and all these things. And now I'm doing this golf thing, and it's literally so much cheaper and so much more profitable. And the avatar of people are like clamoring for it because no one's doing it.
That's how I feel about the beginner space.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And there's very few people targeting beginners and people who golf, and there's just room to breathe.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with like the blue ocean strategy of going after untapped people. But it's hard, like even for me, I'm an expert in real estate, and I do it at a high level, and we'll keep doing it. And it's like, yeah, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? Yeah.
And you thank God, because the advantage there is that weeds out all the people who kind of want it, but don't really, really want it. So you've established yourself in that bloody ocean, and that's a lot.
Yeah. So going back to the beginner, since that's who you're now going after, right? Mm-hmm. And you're not trying to sell high ticket things. You're selling them low ticket things and new product launches every month. And I think that like, it reminds me honestly of like these clothing brands that do drops. That's kind of how I see your business.
It kind of is like that. It's very e-commerce. We think of our business like an e-commerce business.
That's what it is.
Because that's really what it is, except we don't have any of the headaches of physical product delivery, the margins of it. So we have all of the advantages and none of the headaches. But that's exactly like it is. We'll hype up a launch. People know what to expect. We'll tease it. I like to look at how Taylor Swift teases her stuff. I'll drop little Easter eggs, there's this whole thing around figuring out what Maria's going to launch next and what the topic is going to be. And we have all these we've trained our audience. I don't like that word, but we've trained our audience to buy immediately when I drop, because you're going to get bonuses or you're going to get a discount. I have worked a lot to set an established rhythm for my launches. And that takes all the I don't have to think as much when I'm launching, but B, my customers know what to expect. And they all joke, I could launch a course on watching paint dry and they would buy it. Because I just have this fan base. So they're just really kind of
What percentage is women?
Oh gosh, I think 5% is men. It's mostly women.
Okay.
Yeah. The guys that are in my world are very cool. I really enjoy it, but I just naturally attract women and moms, and it's built for what I teach, and the way I do it is built for that.
Yeah.
Because moms can't attend masterminds. Really, it's hard for them to make calls and stuff, so they actually prefer a self-paced course, anyways, based on their schedule.
Yeah. So back to the beginner, right? So the claim is that if you have 100 followers, you can make $50 to $100 a day.
Easily.
How?
Doing a tiny version of what I'm doing. You create reels on a topic that you are interested in, that you want to monetize. I always say, what do your friends come to you for advice on? That's a little sign that you're good at that. You're good at solving that problem. And
so hey, I'm going to make a course on parenting.
Or party planning or whatever. Exactly. Yeah. So let's use your example, parenting. People come to you for parenting advice.
Yep.
So start making content, sharing what you know about parenting. And I like to give a very specific tip, which is don't just make content, run experiments and report back on it. So if you're a nutrition coach, do it. I cut sugar out for 30 days. Here's what happened. I took my kids to the park every day for 30 days. Here's what happened. Because people don't know how to make good content that stands out. But if you're running these experiments, not a lot of people are doing that. And it's a way to stand out with your content. So do that. And then I always say do that for 180 days straight. Just make really good, hyper-specific, solving a hyper-specific problem. Make content like that for 180 days straight. And then you launch your digital product. And it sells out every time. My students have really, really good first launches because they spend a lot of time making really unique, really helpful, very valuable content. And then they launch to a warm, receptive audience. And then they go and make daily sales from there.
And are they going to start running ads right away?
They can. Once you have 100 organic sales, you can. We also have a method that we call the $5 a day method, where our students who run the $5 a day method get sales within the first 24 hours of running those $5 ads.
Yeah. So basically they're going to retarget people at $5 a day.
Actually, the way that we do it is we have them collect email addresses, because you can get good email addresses for 50 cents if you know what you're doing. And then you can email people the link to the course. And so they actually monetize that via email.
What about phone numbers?
It's interesting you say that, because that's something that I don't know anything about, but we're just starting. And I feel like that's very untapped for us. But
so you never really ask for their phone number?
No, we don't do anything with that. We do, we have phone numbers from our customers, and we'll blast. We just started this month or last month, blasting them twice a month with text. That's it. So it's very underutilized right now. Yeah.
So how much of your sales do you think come from, let's say, the emails versus the running of ads, and they just, I assume when you run ads, you're just getting them direct purchase.
Yeah, exactly. Straight to that's how we monetize really quickly with the ads. I think the way I think of it is it's about 25 email, 25 Instagram, 50% ads. That's been our split for a really long time. But we've been kind of doing a little bit more with email. And so now it might be slightly more email, slightly less Instagram. But what we'll do is the ads bring in our customers, our front end people. We get our repeat customers and a significant portion of our profit from the organic and from the email. So ads is just scooping in these customers by the hundreds every day that they will then feel very comfortable remarketing to. We know that we know our LTV and all of that, and so we know our numbers, and we know that we'll get you again and again and again because we have a great repeat customer rate.
So are you positive on the front end with your ads, or
slightly? Yeah, slightly more than break even. Yeah.
So you're just trying to really break even.
Yeah, exactly.
And then LTV wise, later on they'll buy other launches.
Exactly, and because we have a 60% customer repeat rate, which is the average is 20%. In e-commerce, it's like 20%. So we're pretty good. But that was one of the things that we took away from the Sam card thing, was because before we had really nice return on ad spend straight out of the gate, and we're like, oh, but we're scaling so slowly because of that. Yeah. So we're like, let's just go down to essentially break even. And then
what were you spending before that event? And then what are you spending now?
We were spending around $100,000 in February, which was the event. And I think we're now closer to like $200, $250 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've almost
doubled. Yeah. Yeah. My sister who runs my ads gets a Range Rover when we hit $10,000 a day in ad spend profitably, and we're close. I'm going to be buying a Range Rover next week.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make sure you, are you going to buy it or lease it?
I don't know. I got to talk to the people, the finance people about that, because I don't know how to do it the right way. I just made this promise at the beginning of the year.
Random promise.
Yeah, and I'm like, shit, now I got to deliver.
So your sister, what is she? I met her.
Yes, yeah.
What does she do for those who don't know?
She runs all my ads. And then I actually just brought on my other sister, who now I have 5 sisters.
I was going to say, how many you got?
I have 5 sisters, and my goal is to have them all work for me.
What are you? Where do you stand?
I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest of 9. Oldest of 9 kids.
Whoa!
I have 5 sisters and 3 brothers. My family is Catholic, and so no birth control. Yeah.
There we go.
So it's great. I got a lot of employees that I trust, and more coming up the pipeline. So I love it. We work really well together. But so I have my sister Rose, who manages the ads. I think her official title would be CMO. And then my sister Sophia just started working for her to help manage the ads, because it's getting
she's like a marketing assistant.
Yeah, we have we have hundreds of campaigns we're running on any daily basis. So it's a lot to manage in the back end of Facebook. And so she needed help to just literally manage the campaigns. Yeah.
And then you have obviously someone helping you with social.
Yes. So I have a content assistant. People are surprised though when I tell them that I make most of the content by myself. That's
really
like I just got an assistant a few months ago. So
you were posting and everything.
All of it. The person that got me to 500,000 was pretty much me, and then I had an assistant come on for the very last bit of that. And I was making
How do you? Okay, let's. Now I got to talk about this. Yeah. Okay, so if you're posting 5 times a day and you just started YouTube and you're growing that,
yes.
What is your content like? How many hours a week are you putting into content?
Yeah.
How are you thinking about it?
Yeah, it's great. So the way I think about it is, it's the most leveraged thing that I will do is make content. But I'm very limited in the time that I can work because of my 3-year-old. So I only work half a Tuesday, all of Wednesday. That's it. So a day and a half. I don't work the rest of the week at all.
What do you do?
I'm with my baby.
You just chill?
Yeah, we go to the beach, we go to the park, we read books. We do play dates. I'm primarily a stay-at-home mom with a little multi-million-dollar business kind of on the side. I'm mostly a mom, and that's how I want it. I know I could be so much further in my career even than I am if I wasn't prioritizing that. But that's what matters to me. And so, with that being said, I have to be really intentional about that day and a half that I do work, and so I'm become very good, not just at making content, but at repurposing content in a way people don't know that I'm repurposing. And so I'll take one idea and turn it into 15 posts in less than an hour. Or when I go to the studio to record my reels, we'll do 43 videos in an hour. We're so efficient. I've gotten so good at making content so quickly that I can bust out what would take people the time to do 1 or 2 posts. I will literally do 2 weeks to a month worth of content. I'm just fast because I've done it. I have to be fast.
And you edit it yourself?
For the longest time, I did, yeah. I don't edit on YouTube at all. That's my big rule, is I click start on the webcam, I say what I need to say, and then I upload it. So part of it is giving myself permission to not have perfectly polished content, but I swear that's why I'm growing so fast on YouTube, is because the content I put out is such a pattern interrupt. There's no intro, there's no fancy equipment. It's me in my tiny home office with my literal webcam and a mic. So it's very simple, but I've given myself permission to upload it as I can.
So wait, there's no edits at all?
Not for YouTube, no.
It's just like a live stream, basically.
Essentially, yeah. And I just say what I know what I need to say. And one of my little tricks is I have an iPad that shows on the screen and then I write on it. And that kind of makes it look more professional than it is.
Yeah.
But it's really unpolished. Yeah.
So you're doing that. And then on the Instagram stuff, because I see, you've got videos where I'm assuming you go to the studio.
Yes.
It's like podcast style.
Yes. We do that once a month and that takes 2 hours. And
they just pepper you with questions.
No, we just repurpose the same scripts over and over again. And they're mostly just those studio ones are just calls to action to comment on stuff.
Because you already know they work.
So you're
just saying it in different ways.
Or sometimes saying it in the exact same way in a different dress. Yeah.
How many wardrobe changes do you do while you're there?
8 to 13.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So you'll go for an hour.
And that's the thing that takes the longest is me changing.
So you'll go and say the same thing for 10 minutes, change.
So we do five reels per outfit, and then we'll just, I have a pop-up tent. I'll run in there, change. They'll help zip me up, and we'll sit down and do it again. Yeah.
Same exact one.
A lot of times, yeah. Same script, same words. If I know they work, why would I change them? And I learned that from Alex, actually. He says, why would you spend so much time experimenting with new content when you already have content that you know works and like 2% of your followers have seen?
Right. You're right. Very few people have seen that before. When do you think you're just going to have AI do it?
Never.
Really?
I think that AI will help I don't know if you've read this book, but it's just an amazing book. It's called The Singularity is Nearer.
Yep.
And it's been blowing my mind. And so I just think that AI, if you fear AI, that's as silly as fearing the internet. It's going to help us be better, but it's not going to put us out of jobs. That's my theory. If you know what you're doing, at least. Some people will be out of a job, like paralegals I'm worried about, but I think that AI is just going to improve our brain power, which we know our actual human brains are very underutilized.
Right.
So we know AI, like we know that there's the capacity for our own brains to be used more. And so this guy, Wright, who wrote the book, he thinks we're going to merge with AI. Humans and AI will merge. Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the moment Elon and Neuralink, like it's happened at that
It's
point.
It's going to be so crazy to us that we used to have to sit and have a question and have to manually type it into a computer to get the answer. Like that's going to be weird to our kids.
Yeah.
That we didn't just have the answer right there in our own brains.
Yeah. I mean, it's already happening where now it's like, it's just crazy how much I can use chat. Like how are you using AI?
That's a great question. So, I mean, a lot of AI is done with the automations that know to trigger the keywords and stuff. So we use it a lot for our automations to automatically send traffic to checkout pages. And then we use AI, literally ChatGPT, to do a lot of the math problems that I might not have known to do, but have really helped us make decisions as we scale. So much of scaling when you're in the low ticket world is that game of margins and that game of inches. And so being able to input certain things about my AOV and my LTV and what I'm spending on ads has
You're going to upload your results.
Exactly. Or even just like funnel A versus funnel B, we might have thought, oh, but funnel B is charging $57 for the upsell. That's the one that we should do. But we run it through AI and we're like, actually, the one that you're charging $27 for, based on the numbers you gave me, is actually making you more money. So put more traffic behind funnel A. Yeah. And so we use it a lot for stuff like that where I couldn't have done the math on that. But I don't use AI to write it all. I can tell when someone has written with AI. And I think that that's a very short-sighted way to think for several different reasons. I think that it's so important for me to write every word of what I put out there. And content is my only job. Like if I can't do that, what am I doing? So yeah.
So you're still pretty much doing all your own content.
Yeah.
You do all these carousels and captions. Mm-hmm. You write the descriptions.
Yep. Yeah. But they're short. They're like little calls to action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you hop in the studio, do 10 wardrobe changes.
Yeah. That's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do that once a month.
Mm-hmm. And then the only other thing that I do that you haven't listed, and this is literally my job description, like that's all I do for work, is that. Plus, we'll do these things that I call like B-roll shoots, where I dress up in cute outfits and go like prance around Laguna and get some footage of me doing that, like just doing other things that I use. And then those are the reels that have the music with the text on top. So that's
B-roll shoots.
Yeah.
Paparazzi shoots.
Just get that. And but what I've started doing now is I'm traveling a lot more. So I'm just traveling the world, which has been so fun. And then also recording myself doing that while I'm doing that. So that's been like, that even took that chore away. So now really when I'm working, I'm just.
And how long have you been running this model? You said 3 years.
3 years since I had Ellie, my daughter. I knew that I wasn't expecting to be a single mom as soon as I had her, but I was. And so I was very grateful that I had made that shift because it was literally me with her 100% of the time for those 3 years. And so I couldn't have had the capacity to do that. And thank God, because I got to be the kind of mom I wanted to be without worrying about money at all and without worrying about working at all. It was really important.
Yeah. So before that, you were doing high ticket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was selling. So even then, though, what I was doing with high ticket was really different because I was selling $72,000 coaching packages without sales calls. I was just doing it over the DMs. And
How? What were you selling? Like, who's buying that over the DMs?
I would make them audition to be in my mastermind. So they would have to send a video to request to pay me the money. And I flip the frame. And so they're requesting me and telling me why they should get to be in my mastermind. And then if they were a good fit and I accepted them, they just sent the money. I never did sales calls.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually ironically kind of how it works with Mastermind 19, our golf one.
It's a better way to do it.
Yeah, because it really is like application.
Yeah.
Like even if you have the money and we don't
exactly.
like you.
Sucks. Yeah. And but I just, it makes it easier. I've always, even from the very beginning, I've always wanted to find a different way to do it that was easier. Because I always felt like even the high ticket world was really hard. Like the triage call, then you have the sales call. Like it's so hard. You're making it so hard to get the money.
And how long were you doing high ticket for?
Oh my gosh. 4 or 5 years, a long time. Yeah.
So you've been in digital marketing
since 2013. Yeah.
Oh, 12 years.
Yeah. I've been doing.
Is that basically all you've been doing?
I've never had a real job interview. I don't even know what it's like to go in for a job interview. Like I've done this as a freshman in college. I was a graphic designer. That's how I got started. I was really bad at business in my first couple of years. I made like $63 in my first year. So I was not very good at all at the beginning, but I kind of figured out how to get clients eventually. And then I had a really long waiting list. People would wait like 8 months for me to design their logo. And my other graphic designer friends were like, how are you getting people to wait that long for you to design their logo? And so I started showing my graphic designer friends how to get clients. And then that kind of, one day I looked up and I had more people wanting to pay me to teach them how to get clients than I did actually doing
the graphics.
Exactly. And so it was a really gradual transition over a period of like 3 years. And it's just gone from there. And then the biggest scaling jump for me was when I got myself out of delivery. It just, my income immediately exploded once I stopped high ticket. Yeah.
So during that time, I mean, how were you getting customers? Was it still organic or what were you doing?
When I was doing high ticket,
yeah,
it was all organic. Yeah, but I really wasn't very well known at that time. So it was a lot of, I was very well known in a very, very tiny circle. And that because I was charging so much, I would get one, $72,000 client per month or whatever. And there's your $1 million business. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then it's a lot. And I got a little burnt out.
What were they getting for 72 grand?
It was a 12-month mastermind and we had 2 calls a week. So I guess 8 calls a month and then Voxer support. So I think a pretty standard high ticket coaching thing. It was great. They're easy. Like my girls are easy. I liked it, but I just didn't know how I was going to do that with a baby.
Yeah. And you said that was unexpected.
Yeah, very much unexpected.
So now I guess, obviously you're kind of cracking the code on this low ticket thing. At this point just, I guess, spend more, keep growing organically? And
literally it's just more. I'm a really big fan of not just Michael Masterson, but also something Alex said, which is like more, better, new. And so everything we're doing is working. We just need to do more of it.
Yeah.
So just more.
And do you think you'll ever get back into high ticket or what's your plan?
I certainly have people begging me for it. They certainly want more, Maria. So it's tempting. I think about it, but I have to do it. And again, like everything, like I want it to be different and I want it to feel really fun and light. And so I have to come up with a way where I can give the people what they need from a high ticket program without me really doing work. Like fundamentally, I don't want to work. I don't want to show up to calls. That's not the thing I want for my life right now. I want to keep doing my beach days with Ellie. And so I have to think of a way I can come, and I know that it's possible. I just haven't given it any thought. But I certainly think that my path to 10 million would happen a little faster with a high ticket thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm doing my first event. That's been my big thing right now, is my first event in October.
That's what I was going to ask you. So what made you do that?
Because I look around at the people who have the businesses that I want, and they all run events. And I'm not scared of it, which I had been for a really long time. So I finally feel energetically ready to do it and excited for it. Certainly, I was talking to you a little bit about this, certainly learning a lot about what not to do when throwing your first event. Like, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
I'm processing.
It's not like digital.
No, it's not. And there's so many logistics. Like, I gotta have event insurance. What the heck is event insurance? Like all this stuff. But it's fun, and I've been a little bored. It's almost been. I've told my sister, I'm like, it's just a little too easy right now. And so I've been bored for a little bit for the last 3 years. And so this event thing is a way for me to scratch that itch of wanting to do something new without imploding my actual business, which is what a lot of entrepreneurs do when they get bored, is they break the business that's working. This is a way for me to just experiment and have fun and do something new and challenging while keeping this really nice business going.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, now you're starting to reinvest some money back into the business. But, I mean, you guys don't really have too much overhead and expenses.
There's no overhead. It's literally just a little bit of labor and then our ad spend. If you were to look at a pie chart of our expenses, it would be a tiny little pie right here. And then ads would be the majority of it. Yeah, it's really it. And it's like $200,000, $250,000 a month. So that's it. And that's...
What are you doing with the money you're making?
Nothing. Literally just sitting there. So there's going to be some investments, and I need, that is a side of things I need to get figured out, because I know I need to get like an asset protector. I need to get all of that figured out. And invested. I'm currently renting right now, so I'm not even like owning a home right now. So that side is all very evident of the work I need to do as someone who has new money. I don't know anything about it, so I just put it in a bank account, and it's like I literally have like over $1 million just sitting in a bank account. Yeah. So I need to just like get sorted.
So now you're the sugar mama, just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm the sugar mama for myself. Yeah. I buy what I want. Like I'm having a good time over here. But I'm actually really non-materialistic. Anything I just don't get joy out of it. I'm loving the traveling and making sure Ellie is set up. Like that's really important to me. And I really do think of it as God's money and Ellie's money, my daughter. It's not my money. I'm just a steward of it.
Yep.
And so I'll treat myself here and there, but I really don't I get joy from tipping the bill or things like that. Like that's way more fun for me. Treating my friends to a trip, like those are the things I actually enjoy. Good stuff is fine. It's nice to have nice things. It's nice to have that security of not worrying about paying your bills, which I certainly used to worry about. But it's really just God's money. I really do believe that. And so I'm just a steward to manage it.
So are you, with Ellie, are you going to put her in school, homeschool?
I think we're going to homeschool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was homeschooled all 12 years.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, all 12 years. So I've never been to a real school. And everyone to me,
you're not weird. That's good.
But I had to work at it though, Ryan. You should have met me when I was in high school. I had a unibrow.
There you go.
Unibrow in high school. So I think if you solve for the socialization thing, you're fine.
Yeah.
I love the freedom that I got. And the ability to just be myself and be different is why I have the business I do. And I'm very classically educated. Like I've read a lot of the works of Western culture that are so important to me that so many of my peers just didn't get to read and think about, like the philosophers and all of it. I love it. I love talking about that stuff. And I'm often having those conversations with older people, not people my age, because they didn't get that gift that I was given. So,
yeah, we started homeschooling. And so outside there, well, right now the stuff's not out there, but usually like the workshop space, when it's not a workshop, is like their recess. There's freaking bounce houses and
so fun
gym stuff and all this stuff. And so I think the way we've solved it is we have like 8 kids.
Yeah.
And so
that's perfect.
They socialize. They're here at the office. Like they meet people.
And I've been practicing even with Ellie, like now, like proving to myself that I can help her have a little social life. So she has her little play dates. She has her little friends that she sees at the pool every day and stuff. And so I think if you get creative, that's fine. And the gift that you're giving your kids by removing them from an environment that's not serving them, I think is just, you're giving them a gift that I'm so grateful to my parents for homeschooling me. And it's been such a gift in so many different ways. So I don't think you're going to regret that at all.
did you guys travel and stuff, or what did your parents do to have 9 kids?
So my dad owned a web design company, and he used to be an adjunct English professor before that. And I really watched, it was very important. I was 9 years old, and I watched how our family's financial situation became a lot more comfortable once he started working for himself. So it went from being very, very tight to just more comfortable. And I learned something, which was like, oh, when you work for yourself, things get better. Things are more comfortable. And so I never even once thought I would ever do anything except own my own business. From like 9 years old, I knew I was always going to own my own thing. And I worked for my dad when I was in high school, and that was a big gift too, because I learned a lot of graphic design skills and computer skills that I then immediately started freelancing when I was in college, and that became the basis for the business that I have today. So I'm very grateful to my dad because he just set me up for a lot of success in that way.
Yeah. What'd you even go to college for?
Graphic design.
So you were just going to go, but you weren't ever going to get a job.
No, but I knew that I a big part of what I did was even just being comfortable on camera, public speaking. Like I was a communication major is like the official title. And so it was just a lot of learning how to be on camera, learning how to communicate, learning how to get your message across, which I'm actually one of the few people who actually uses her college degree every day with my work. I really use my college degree. It was great.
That's probably why you like creating content then. It's kind of the same brain.
Yeah, it's trial by fire. Like you learn to be comfortable on camera. You learn to be good at it. But I always tell my students, go to my YouTube channel and sort by old. Like I wasn't.
Go watch the early ones.
Yeah, they weren't great. Just get better with time.
So, obviously, you guys are really hitting momentum here in like the last 12 months.
Yeah.
It's like it's all clicking. It took 10 years of essentially trial and error to find out like, oh, now things are finally like clicking in a really big way. And it seems to me that a lot of it started to happen too once you went to the event that we went to.
Yeah.
What else was like a big takeaway from that event?
From that event, I really was so struck by how I've never met someone who makes a lot of money and isn't kind. Like everyone at the top is just so kind and so helpful. And that's such a confirmation to me that you can be exactly how you want to show up and still be really successful. Everyone there is just amazing people. And then the other thing I learned was just how we all have a problem that we're figuring out. And I think someone there said like, fall in love with solving problems and you're going to be really successful. And that reshifted my attitude towards problems that I solve in my business, is that the more I fall in love with solving problems, the easier this whole thing becomes. And then I don't know if you remember one of the gentlemen there who said like, you need to be emailing your customers more. That was a very practical little tidbit, which we started doing because we hadn't been doing daily emails or twice daily emails. And we are now, and it immediately boosted our daily average revenue. Wow. So yeah, just a good combination of feeling excited to be in those rooms. Like for some of the people that were there, I'd looked up to for so long. And so just like be there was really cool. And then just to get those very practical little nuggets. And then the one that we talked about earlier, which was like, you need to be spending more money. That was like my big takeaway, was like, you need to be spending more money in your business. You're too profitable, Maria.
Yeah. I guess up to that point, you were just like, do you say you were maybe comfortable with where you were at?
I don't think that I had the knowledge that was something that I needed to do. Like to me, this is truly all monopoly money. Like I'm just in this for the fun of scaling a business. I like the money, but I don't like, I'm just as happy taking home 30% as I was taking 60%. Like it's potato for me. I don't care. I just like scaling. It's just fun for me. I like business. And so I just literally didn't have, this is why it's so important to go and be in these masterminds and be in those rooms, because I literally just didn't know that that's something that I needed to prioritize. I didn't understand that the reason I was scaling slowly was because I wasn't reinvesting in the business. I was looking for other solutions, and someone's like, no, you're just taking home 60% of what you're making. Put that in the business and you'll scale more. And that's why things like the mastermind you're doing are so important, because you don't know what you don't know. You literally don't know your blind spots until someone else points them out to you.
Yeah, 30-40% of 5 times as much is far better.
Exactly. Which we're in that uncomfortable middle. I was talking to Alan Sultanik. I don't know if you know him, but we were talking about how we're in that uncomfortable middle where we haven't quite scaled to where we want to be, but we're certainly so much less profitable than we are. And so he was just assuring me that like, no, this is exactly how it's supposed to go. Like when you're in the scaling process, it takes a second for that, like you're pulling it back and then you propel yourself forward. And so we're kind of in that uncomfortable middle where we're not making that much more than we were before the event. Like before the event, we were at like $500,000 a month. Now we're at like $650,000. So it's not significant growth. But we're taking home 30% less than or like 50% less than we were, because we're taking home 30 now instead of 60.
Yeah.
And so, but however, what we're reinvesting in will have a payoff probably like a year from now, I think.
Yeah. I can tell you too, for me, we've done 8 figures, many different years. And it's like you start off, especially in the digital game, you start off with, a team of 3.
Yeah.
And there are no costs. Everything's basically, and I was all organic for a long time.
Okay.
For years.
And you're good at that. That's a strength of yours.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I was all organic for a long time. I never spent even $1 on paid ads the first 3 years. And we did a lot. And then I started doing paid ads and learning that game. And it's weird because it's true. It's like I was taking home so much, and then you start spending money on ads. Then you got to hire this guy and this guy and this guy. And then we throw in massive events. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm making less, even though the revenue's jumped.
Exactly.
And I'm like, this is weird. And then it just kind of gets to a point where you either break through it and it starts to make sense again, or it doesn't and you switch back.
And
And that's what I see happen with a lot of this. This applies to all businesses, but especially digital businesses. I've seen a lot of guys who were, let's just say, maybe close to 8 figures or multiple 7 figures. And now they're like, you know what? I'm just going back to solo, one-on-one, kind of like what you were doing before in high ticket or whatever. And they're like, look, I'm good with just having me and 1 or 2 people.
And I really appreciate you painting me the picture of what happens that once you do break through, because it's hard to see it when you aren't there, right? So I'm right where you were saying, you're like, oh, this isn't making so much sense right now. But I'm not going to be one of those people that turns around and does that. My goal is 100 million. I want to be the next Dave Ramsey in my field. He's someone I look up to so much for so many different reasons. And so it's 10 million and then it's 100 million. And I'm so clear on that. It's just, I need enough time on the planet to make it happen.
Yeah. It's interesting too, because, I started the golf mastermind and I haven't had to hire anyone. So something you're doing is something I used to do, and I got away from it, and I'm kind of now reevaluating it. So I used to start businesses all the time. Now mine weren't products, mine were full on businesses. So I had 6 different businesses doing over 7 figures. And the thing is, this office space that you've seen, it is what it is, no matter how many things I do. My core team is who they are. They can handle multiple things if we do it. Really, it would just be the fulfillment of whatever the thing we sell is.
And I'm learning the fulfillment can be so much easier. You actually decide, from what I've learned, I can't believe the things they buy for how little fulfillment I have. It's blowing my mind.
Well, and this golf business is the first new business I've launched in over a year.
Okay.
And it's interesting because, we're in this month-long launch, so kind of like you, and my goal is to get 100 members by the end of the launch. And it's very, picky and all this stuff. But if we get to 100 members, we'll already be halfway to $1 million business, right? And I think it's possible. But the crazy thing is it's kind of all margin, because I don't have to hire anyone else. I already have the core team. And then on top of that fulfillment, I'm glad you brought this up. The thing I like about the golf thing is there's no coaches, right? It's just a pure mastermind. It's a group. It's kind of like your Facebook group in that way. And then we have the events. And so the fulfillment is the golf trips. But I want to go on the golf trips.
Exactly.
It's not work.
No, it's fun. And I promise, you get to do that. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
And I think you're going to, and it's kind of for me, I realize, when I create content as I'm traveling, this isn't even a chore anymore.
No.
It's fun.
I have, you know what? I think I'll go on this trip because I'll get content. It's a business expense now.
It's a business expense. It is. Yeah. And whenever we talk about stuff like this, I'm always so grateful. This gets to be our job.
Yeah.
I tell my team sometimes we'll be doing something silly, like going to a coffee shop and getting the same shot of me reaching the coffee 3-4 times. I'm like, what a silly way to spend a Monday. This is so silly. But we're so lucky to get to do that. And obviously, we put the work in. But I never forget what a privilege it is to do the work that we do. And not just the work that we do, but impact the people that we impact. And not just in our programs, but in the people that we bring on. I do believe that you and I both are put on this earth specifically for this reason, and that our success is in part because of that purpose. So it's just cool to be here.
How do you, I guess for you said 95% of your people are women. I'm going to guess they're moms, a lot of them.
A lot of them, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And how important is it for anyone watching this to like hone in and niche down?
I get asked that question a lot. I tell people, don't worry about your niche at all, actually. It's one of the things God bless my sweet beginners, they agonize over their niche so much. These are the right people, this is the right demographic. But what I have found is that the product that you're selling, your offer, if that is hyper-specific, which it should be, solving a very specific problem, it will naturally attract and repel the right people.
It'll get whoever it
And
gets.
people worry about being so specific with their niche, but then their product is like, how to find your purpose or stepping into radical power or like whatever it's the product like doesn't achieve anything. It's not clear what you're going to get. And that's why they struggle to sell it. But if you are solving a hyper-specific problem, that will naturally attract who it attracts. And so you'll actually make sales because people will trust, she's got such a good description of the problem that I'm dealing with. She must inherently have the solution. And so I tell people, go very, very specific with your product, make it a no-brainer offer. Very, very, very niche down on the product. And then the people who want that problem solved will naturally do that.
And then at that point, then you know who the people are.
Yeah,
once you have the buyers.
Exactly. And but I think you kind of know who your people are by the problem you want to solve. If I'm a mom that wants to teach my toddlers to stop being on the screen, like breaking screen time for toddlers, I kind of know that the people who are going to be buying this are going to be parents of little kids. Right. That's as much thought as I need to give to my niche, and that's it. I need to be focused on making sure that my product is really speaking to them, because those moms will naturally, or dads will naturally find me. So spend 80% of your time worrying about the literal title of your product is where 80% of your effort should be going. Because if you nail that, you'll have a viral product. That's one of the things I'm really good at, is helping my students make products that go viral. And we spend 80% of our time on the literal title of the product. And then But people don't do that. But if you do that, people inherently get what the solution is. They want it, and they bring their friends, and it creates that virality.
All right, let's just talk about product creation.
Yeah.
This is really, obviously, it's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And this is like why your business can function the way it does. Because I think like most guys who do a high ticket program, it's like, cool, I spent so much time figuring out this program. Now I'm going to sell as much of it as I can over the next many years. That's the normal kind of high ticket model.
Mm-hmm. And I think you should do something like that to get to your first million. So I tell my students, it doesn't matter if it's a low ticket product or a high ticket product. Sell one product over and over and over again until you hit 7 figures. I don't think you can break that rule. I think that's everyone that I've ever met that has ever had a 7-figure business has done that. Like for the most part. One product. It's the rule of the 5 ones. Like I follow that. But then what
is that rule for those who don't know?
Oh yeah, thank you. Solve one problem for one demographic with one product on one platform for 1 year. I did that. That's how I built my first 7-figure business. My students who are all making over 7 figures have all followed that rule, have one product. But then what Michael Masterson teaches in Ready, Fire, Aim is once you get to stage 2, which is going from 1 million to 10 million, that's when you're in product launching mode, where you're launching as many of those as you possibly can, as fast as you can. But either way, we need a good product. And so what we learn in stage 1, which is how to create a product that actually sells, is important. And you realize in stage 1, it is so hard to do this right for one product. Thank God I'm not trying to do this for 3 all at once when I don't have any resources, because I haven't even made my first $1 million yet. So you learn all of these skills to create a good product that goes viral. And then you can put like the fuel to the flames and do that over and over and over again. And that's how you get your $10 million business.
Right. So for you got an email product coming out.
Yeah.
Like what are some other ones you've been thinking about?
Okay. So the email one came out. Once people are desperate to know how I'm growing on YouTube so fast, because I'm doing like almost 100,000 subscribers with a webcam, no editing. They love that because it's super accessible for them. So I've got a YouTube one coming out. I think people really want to know like they're very interested. And once I do it, they're going to want to know. But they want to know how I'm manifesting my soulmate, because I'm like very active and I'm very active in the I'm calling in my soulmate. I'm calling in my person. And so all my girls want to know when I haven't even done it yet. I'm nowhere even close to doing it.
I don't even You're still
dating.
single.
I'm literally not even dating right now. But they want that's a 2027, 2028 one. I'll do that. Very practical. I'm known for my very practical business stuff. So once I figure out the text messaging thing, for example, I'm going to turn around and teach that. I just did a really big one on offers and literally creating a viral digital product. People want to know how I create content as fast as I do. So that's one in the pipeline. I have a really long list of things that my audience, my marketplace tells me they want. So sometimes that means I'm launching courses that I'm not even really that interested in, but they're begging me for. Like I did one on copywriting that I couldn't really care about, but they begged me for it.
You're just creating SOPs for what you're doing.
Essentially. Yeah. Essentially.
You're creating SOPs.
Really
and
practical.
You're selling them.
Yeah. Really practical based on what they tell me they want. So typically I will spend a couple $100,000, do all the wrong things, figure it out, and then say, guys, here's the like 18 things not to do, but this one way actually worked. And so it's really, SOP is a good word because it's really, really practical, which is very different than a lot of the courses out there, which are a little bit more in the head. Mine's very like step 1, open up this window. Step 2, click this button. Step 3, do this. And so that's why my students get such good results is because SOPs, like I called them tutorials, but it's the same idea where you're just following the recipe and it's pretty hard to mess up.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally why I've created any course I have is because people kept asking, hey, how do I do this? And I'm like, dude, I'm tired of explaining this. I'm just going to make this one time. And here it is.
Yes. And what I have found is it creates this like I have now this ecosystem of products where one I did recently was how I do my launches. People really wanted to know how I did these launches where I'll make like $100,000, $200,000 in a day from launching a course that I then have no delivery for. So they kind of wanted to know how to do that. But then in the launch course, I'll reference the copywriting course or I'll reference the email marketing course. And so my products naturally sell.
Cross-sell.
Yeah, cross-sell is a great word. Exactly. Really naturally, which I can't take credit for that. That just happened accidentally. Naturally. Yeah.
So with that, I mean, I still have yet to, because when I think about it back in the day, I remember going in 2018 to my first ever digital marketing thing. It was Russell Brunson's Funnel Hacking Live in Orlando. And that's the first time I ever bought anything too. I bought his course. It's like $3,000. Honestly, didn't even use it. I didn't use ClickFunnels. I didn't use anything. But I did write a book.
Interesting.
Based on what it said. I was like, okay, this actually makes sense. I'm going to write a book and, make a course. But the reason I did was because I remember back then specifically, courses were like the thing. Everybody was selling like $1,000 courses and like, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, well, that sounds awesome. It's just like, you have no fulfillment. People buy it. This is great. And at that time, I did not want to coach. I was busy building my real estate business. We were doing 100-something deals a year. And I'm like, I don't have time to be coaching people, but I will like sell a course. And unfortunately for me, I didn't know how to make content. I didn't know how to run ads. I just thought if you make a course, people buy it.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, it didn't work out that way. So I literally sold none. Well, I sold one. I take that back.
Yeah.
I sold one course and I was like, man, that was a waste of time. And I was making, 7 figures doing real estate. So it wasn't like, I'm like, this digital thing sucks. But then in 2020, when I started making organic content, it revitalized everything because then everyone's like, bro, we need this. And so I started coaching and that ended up being the thing. And we did group coaching and all this stuff. And since then we've done tens and tens of millions.
That's how I found you, was through your organic content.
Yeah.
Yeah. First time I actually met you was, we didn't meet, but was in the Plugged In event in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
With Ryan. So Ryan and I were neighbors.
Oh.
And so he brought me through there. And that's when I first found out about you and stuff. Yeah. So that was 4 or 5 years ago. That was a long time ago. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was how it started for me. But I just remember thinking like, man, if you could sell courses and like, just the scalability of it's infinite.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even matter if your profit margin is 10% or 20% because it's done.
Yeah. And that's what I think for me, I did that I think I missed the course window. It's almost like accidentally, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
When I did mine, not only was I not doing it for $1,000 or $3,000, I was doing it for like a couple $100, which is very different. And it's almost like I just had a firm belief that it would happen. I was like delusional and it worked out for me. And I just kind of knew it was like, this can work and no one's doing this. And it did, thank God.
Yeah, because I remember I had Dan Henry on the show and he was telling me back then when all that was going down, he was like a showcase guy. Well, I don't even know. He was like the guy Russell was talking about.
Yeah.
And I remember he was saying on the show, he's like, yeah, dude, it was crazy. We were literally printing money. I would spend $300 on ads and they would buy a $1,000 course.
Yeah.
Like we were a 3-to-1 on the front end. He's like, I was spending $300K a month and I was making $1 million. He's like, I feel dumb that I didn't spend more.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, can you imagine today if you freaking could just spend $3 or $1 and make $3
But
like
I think,
instantly?
And I haven't proven this yet, but I think we're doing that right now, except it's a 1-to-6 ratio with our emails. So it's untested, but right now we're collecting emails for $1 and we're turning it into 6.
Right.
And so I actually think that that's the next thing that people are sleeping on is the way that we're doing email marketing. We're collecting these, they're very qualified email addresses, but we're doing something that no one's doing with the way that we're collecting them. And then we're like, our past monetization is a 1-to-6, meaning the money that we've already made has 6x'd. And that email will buy from us over and over and over again. So we could have a 1-to-10. And so that's where we're putting all of our money, kind of like Dan did back in the day with Facebook ads. I think it's happening now with the email addresses.
Well, I for sure think it happens lifetime value-wise. But he was making 3-to-1
immediately.
Yeah,
and
I'm
that's
like, if you make 3-to-1 immediately, I mean, I'm gonna spend. But to your point, I mean, if you could break even and spend $1 million, you'd be spending it tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Because that, that will go 6-to-1 at some point.
And that's literally what we're trying to do as fast as we possibly can.
Right.
And that's what one of the big things where we walked away from that event from. So I really do believe that there are right now those kinds of opportunities. And I actually think it has never been easier to make money online. It has never been better. Do you know how hard it was for us when we were just getting started and no one was making the content that you and I are sitting here making? It was so hard to figure it out by yourself. And not only that, but algorithms used to only show content to the people who followed you.
Right.
They don't do that anymore.
Anyone can get seen now.
Anyone can go viral. You can have an account with 100 followers and get millions of views. And my students do. And so there's never been a better time to make content online. There's never been the window of opportunity is yet to come for so many of us. And so I think, there was some fun things like glory days of Facebook ads. I missed those. But there's still so many opportunities for us now and for our students who have they are standing on the shoulders of giants in the ways that you and I had to just figure it out by ourselves.
Yeah. I've heard some crazy stories of how cheap leads used to be on Facebook back then. What you were around, so
yeah. I mean, it was to me a 3-to-1 is that's an average Tuesday. Yeah. I wasn't spending, but I was spending nowhere near his scale. But I mean, I had friends who would pay $10 for a qualified sales call, which they would then freaking turn into a $10,000 mastermind sale.
100x.
Yeah. And the problem, this was back when we were all in Talkie's mastermind together. And we would those were just average freaking, they would be reporting on their numbers it was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And they would be scared to scale. They were what's going to happen? What, are you going to lose your $10? So I think it was just, we just didn't realize what an
opportunity.
Yeah. But the lesson there is what are the opportunities we're sleeping on now?
Yeah. And that's what I was going to bring up because I remember, I had Ty Lopez here. I had so many guys that were around then and they're just telling me about what it was. And guys like Ty did take advantage of it, dude. And I mean, who knows how much he spent during that time? I'd have to ask him, but it was insane. But yeah, I mean, to your point, there was lots of people doing it at same numbers, but too scared
to really scale,
to go all in. And I think about that right now because it's happened many times throughout in my career. So I've been a full-time entrepreneur now for 10 years.
Wow.
And when I think about it, I'm like, okay, what did I miss out on over these years that I could have went all in on? Well, I know there's a few things. Number one, clearly I could have been doing this earlier and I didn't. Two, I could have bought a bunch of Bitcoin back in 2017 when I first started doing it. And it's I didn't. 3, real estate during COVID and everything else and the low interest rates. I mean, I could have bought even more and I was buying, but I could have went even harder if I chose to. And so, I look at missed opportunities and I look at, hey, what did I do right? Well, I got on TikTok and YouTube back in COVID. That was a perfect storm.
Yeah.
Even though we missed the wave on courses, I did get into it and it's served well. And yeah, I'm looking even at this golf thing and I'm seeing the front end numbers of it. And I'm like, I might have to like dump the truck on these ads because I was not expecting this.
No, my advice is probably, you probably do. But I think it was Charlie Munger. I can't remember, but I think it was Charlie Munger who said like part of getting wealthy is just not making stupid mistakes.
Yeah. So and I've also lost a lot of money doing stupid crap.
And that's the thing. And so like I think you have to balance it. Like, yes, you didn't get into Bitcoin fully all the way. However, there was a ton of people who invested in the wrong cryptocurrency and lost a ton of money. Yeah, you didn't go all in on the real estate, but I still think you did. I mean, to me, that's crazy numbers. But like, think about how many people lost everything in real estate. So like, part of it is knowing that like you should have an innate sense of a little bit of caution. That's just wisdom. So I think, and we're so young. We could literally just sit on the money we have now and be more than fine for the rest of our lives. We'd be fine. We'd be fine.
Do you think you're going to do this for like,
I will be selling courses until I'm 95. 100%. 100. I will be hologramming to the masses. 100%. To me, in some way, I will always be serving the woman who needs a few extra $1,000s per month in her life. That's my passion. That's what I'm meant to do. So I don't know what that's going to look like, but when I have a woman who, her daughter was in the hospital and now she can like be with her because of my courses. When I have someone who's able to take care of their mom or be home with their babies or pay off debt, like that is why I was put on this earth. And I always get so emotional every time I talk about it. And that's how I know it's what I was meant to do. So I truly believe that like this life is not my own, it's God's, and that in some way I will be serving these people until I drop dead. And I don't want to retire. I want to in some way be serving this demographic. It might not always look exactly like this, but I will be serving that demographic until the day I die, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, and like you had mentioned before, a guy like Ramsey, where he's been doing this now for decades, and he has his demographic he's serving.
Yep,
and he's like, hey, I'm going to help people in debt. That's my thing.
Yeah. And what a legacy. When he dies, I literally want to go to his wake. Like I hope to go to his wake and just pay homage to the difference that he's made. And he's very controversial. A lot of people don't like him, but I think that the way he has served and the way he has shown up every day on the radio, that puts us content creators to shame. He's shown up for 3 hours every single day answering the same
30 years
questions for 30 years. Like that makes we are lazy compared to that.
Yeah.
And so and he's done that for 3 decades. And the people that he's impacted is now affecting multiple generations, families who now have kids, And that's what I want to do. He tackled the debt side. I'm tackling the, he's always like, you got to get your income up.
Yeah.
That's where I come in, and the got to get your income up part.
Yeah.
And that's where my heart is.
Yeah, it's funny. I got to interview him.
Did you?
I think, I don't know if it was this year or last year.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
And it's funny because I told him, I go, yeah, dude, I used to be a hater, man.
Really?
Well, as real estate guys, we love that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, this is dumb advice. Like, you need debt.
That's fair.
And, it's just funny, like, talking about it all. But I did tell him, like, the number one thing that's, like, shifted my whole mindset as I've gotten older is, like, number one, on the Christian side of things, what he's been able to do over there is amazing. Number two, he's just serving a different demographic of people than maybe I'm serving. Mm-hmm. That's 2. And those people need help. My advice isn't good for them.
No, but his advice is great for them.
Yep.
You should not be worrying about fancy investment stuff when you are drowning in consumer debt.
Yeah. And then thirdly, though, is what you just mentioned, and something I've realized now. It's like, all right, I've been creating content for like 5-something years. And this guy's been doing it for like 40. And like to your point, 3 hours, I don't do that.
No, I don't either.
And dude, like to talk about the same thing is insane. But that's what gets results. And Tony Robbins did the same thing. Mm-hmm. He's been talking about the same thing for 30, 40 years. I've had Cardone here a lot. And
he's been doing it for a while, yeah.
Same thing. I mean, this dude's been on the scene for decades.
And I think that's the missing piece for someone like you or me is just the time. Like we actually are doing a really good job for our age. You're crushing it. You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
And we just have to exist on the planet for a little bit longer.
Well, the hard part is, I would say, because I've seen a lot of people come and go too. Mm-hmm. And I've been thinking about this for longevity. So longevity is the one thing that can't be faked.
Yeah.
So, it's not easy, but there are lots of people who come and go, who have a good few years, mm-hmm. have a good 5 years. Mm-hmm. But to do it for 30 plus years in a row, to do what Warren Buffett mm-hmm. did for all those years, It's like that takes a whole different level of discipline, focus, not getting shiny object syndrome, mm-hmm. which is my problem. And I just been thinking a lot about it. Like, man, talk, like to me, that is now the most impressive thing. It's not when, somebody, got 1 million YouTube subscribers in, a year. It was crazy. I'm like, that's great. Or, hey, somebody went from 0 to this. And I'm like, that's great. It's not the most impressive thing I've heard. Like the one thing, you can't speed it up.
You can't. And I think that so much credibility just naturally comes with that time. But that was one of the things I was thinking about when we were at the Samcart event together was like, we've been doing this for so long and we all know people who started at the start line with us that are not in this room.
No,
most of them. Exactly. Most of them aren't. And so that's why I have such a deep respect and a friendship. Even if I haven't met you yet, we're friends because we've been out there for the last decade serving our people. And that's how I know I'm going to be doing this for a really long time is because I think the difference between the people who can do it for decades is a sense of purpose. And I think, for example, Ramsey, he's got that.
Sure.
And I know that you have, I know that you have that sense of purpose and that's why you're going to be doing it for decades. And you're right, the credibility will come, but, in my mind, there's, some people say like we get married and there's no option. We don't even think about divorce. That's what it is for me quitting. Like it's just not even an option. I'm never quitting. I'm never not doing this. It's just going to change a little bit as the decades go on. But like I'm in this for the very, very long game and there's no option to not.
Do you think that maybe you might go harder at it? Because right now you work 2 days a week.
Yes, and I'm very sad about that in a sense, but I know I'm doing the right thing. Like Ellie, I'm absolutely choosing the right thing. Ellie is so young; she's not even in school yet. Like she needs her mother with her, and that's just what I've chosen to do. Some people choose childcare, and that's totally fine. It's totally good. But for me, I know that me being there is so important for her, and I will never regret that. But it is. Absolutely. Do you know what I could do with an extra 5 work days? Are you kidding me? I would be all over the internet. I'd be everywhere. But it's a sacrifice I'm choosing to make very intentionally because I can never get her childhood back.
Yeah.
I'm desperate for more children. I don't know if I'm going to, this might be it for me. I don't know. And so I'm going to cherish every moment that I can with her. And then, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, you're my work for the week. Coming to do this is my work for the week.
Yeah, today's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. It's a work day.
Yeah.
And tomorrow is not. We're going to the pool and then the zoo tomorrow. Literally, that's what we're doing. And so it's the time of my life. And I'll never regret that. I love being a mom. I love that. Building a multi-million-dollar business has been super fulfilling, but it pales in comparison to being a parent.
Yeah, I was going to say, to me, if you just look at how you spend your time, clearly you enjoy family more than the business.
Yes.
Because, you spend way more time, right?
Yeah.
And, I think about me, I love both. And I love my family. I've got my 4th kid on the way here.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I'll have 4 under 6.
Wow, that's my dream though. I want 5. You're living my dream, Ryan.
Yeah. So
wow, congratulations.
But I kind of think about it. It's interesting because I enjoy working. I enjoy family. I enjoy golfing.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy all these things. But I could not be with my kids 5 days a week. It's too much.
Well, I have one. I have one very sweet angel. She's an angel. And honestly, Ellie being as sweet as she is, as easygoing, as funny as she is, she's like, they call it the trick baby. Like they trick you into wanting more. And then your second kid is like totally different.
The opposite. You're like, why did I do this?
Yeah. So no, I also think that again, studies show that there is a difference in mothers being exactly. And that's totally fine. I think it's silly to ignore that. So you're doing what you're meant to do and I'm doing what I'm meant to do.
Right. And this is what I wanted to bring up. So my wife is a stay-at-home mom and now she's helping homeschool and other stuff. And so for her, she has no desire to work. She's like, this is great. And every time I have women on the show, it's always an interesting dynamic because there's the career woman who is putting off marriage and kids and all these things. And then later on they regret it.
Yeah.
And then you have someone like you who's doing both, but is clearly no, the business thing supports this thing.
Exactly. That's how it is for me.
And you don't really see that very often.
I think that part of it is how I was raised in a very traditional home. So it's just come through me through osmosis. I have also read a lot of books because I really it's a sacrifice. I'm throttling my career right now to be present to my kid. And so I really wanted to make sure it was the right thing to do. And so I read a lot of books on how important it is for the mother, specifically the mother.
Yep.
The book in particular is the first 3 years. She just gives it to you straight. And especially for the first 3 years of a child, it's so important for the mother to be there. And I genuinely enjoy it. Honestly, I love my work. It's personally very fulfilling to me. And certainly there's some days where I'm bored out of my mind. It just happens. I'm with a 3-year-old. It only gets so interesting. But I just look that time is the one thing that like money we can always get back, opportunities always come back to us, but time is time on a clock. And Ellie's only going to be 3 for a year. And then she's going to be 4. And so I just choose to believe that I have insane ambitions. Like I'm hungry for growth. I'm starving for it. However, I have to balance that with this beautiful opportunity to be the kind of mom I always wanted to be. And what a privilege to get to be home and present as much as I am being a single mom.
Yeah.
That is not something single moms get to have very often.
Yep.
And so I'll be damned if I don't take advantage of that opportunity. And it's been very personally, the payoff has been there. We have an incredible bond together and we're buddies, we're besties.
Yeah. That's one, Mindy and I have talked about this, but like I don't know how normal single moms do it.
I think it's just
with
really
multiple
sad.
kids and, working a 9 to 5 or 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Like it's
I work
brutal.
with a lot of single moms and there's a lot of personal, that's a personal one for me, because when you're able to take a mom who's in a very demanding 9 to 5 job, she sees her children for an hour before she puts them to bed.
Yep.
And then she comes in my world. For the first time, she actually sees results. She's actually making money doing this whole online thing. Then she quits that job and she's home with her babies. I see stories like that pretty much every single day in that little Facebook group that I have, and nothing fires me up and fuels me more than that. And I really do see the hand of God in the way that I'm able to have this ripple effect where it's not just about that woman. Now her children are being raised differently. They're being raised with their mother present. And I'm not saying that like every single, like that's just what some of my moms in my group want to do. They want to be present. And it's just like the ripple effect of security and the way that child is going to be raised so differently because of me showing up to publish some Instagram reels. Are you kidding me? What a gift. That's such a gift from God. So yeah, I don't know how, I know how single moms do it, and it's very difficult. And I'm very blessed to have the opportunity that I do to just have so much financial security. I never worry about finances, and that is not the case at all for a lot of single moms. So I sit here very grateful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we could talk all day, but I know you got flights and different.
Yeah, I got at some point. I don't even know what time it is, but at some point I got to catch a flight home.
Yeah. So if anyone is interested in working with you, your next launch, what should they do?
Yeah. Well, come to my event in October if you want to.
And where's that?
That's in Orange County. So it's
what dates?
October 11th. And it's going to be really fun. It's my first one, but we're doing it really good.
One day event.
I'm just gonna, and then there's like a little VIP rooftop thing after.
Where do they get tickets?
If you just go to my website, it's on mariewent.com.
Okay.
You can get tickets there. We had 100 early bird tickets. They sold out in hours. And so we're going to be opening up the rest of the 200 tickets pretty soon here later this month. And then I expect those will be gone within a couple of days and then it'll be fully sold out. But I'm really excited for that. And then I honestly tell people like start with my free content. Like people see really good results and they make money by just watching a YouTube video and implementing it. And so I tell people start there and you're going to naturally figure out where you want to go deeper and where you want to dive in a little bit more. And I don't know, I'm just genuinely happy to serve. Like really that's my purpose. And so come to me and however you want to come and we'll take care of you.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, guys, go check it out. Go to her event. It's going to be in Orange County. It's going to be awesome, your first one. Yeah. So I know that you guys are going to do a lot of cool things, but go check it out. And if you liked this episode, make sure you subscribe and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.